As we approach the year 2025, many of us are reflecting on our lives and wondering, what is God's purpose for me in this time? Amid the busyness of daily routines, it's easy to lose sight of our spiritual path. This year, God may be calling you to reevaluate your priorities and align your actions with His will. Let's explore what this might mean for you and how you can respond to His call with faith and purpose. The first step in understanding God's plan for you is to deepen your connection with Him. Spend more time in prayer, reflection, and reading the Scriptures. These practices help you tune into God's voice and discern what He's asking of you. Set aside time each day to pray, even if it's just for a few minutes. Speak to God about your worries, hopes, and aspirations. Ask Him to guide you and reveal His plans. Reading the Bible is another way to seek wisdom and clarity. Verses like Jeremiah 29 verse 11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future," remind us of God's enduring care and guidance. God's plan for you is unique. It's essential to ask yourself, what gifts has God given me, and how can I use these gifts to serve Him and others? Perhaps you've been blessed with talents like teaching, creativity, or leadership. Consider how you can use these abilities to make a positive impact. If you're unsure of your purpose, spend time reflecting on your passions and the ways you've been able to help others in the past. Often, God's purpose aligns with the things that bring you joy and fulfillment. One of the greatest commandments is to love your neighbor as yourself, Mark 12 verse 31. Before 2025, challenge yourself to embrace forgiveness and love in your relationships. Is there someone you need to forgive? Are there relationships in your life that need healing? Forgiveness can be difficult, especially when you've been deeply hurt. However, holding on to resentment prevents you from fully experiencing God's peace. Take steps to mend broken relationships by extending an olive branch and seeking reconciliation. By doing so, you're not only obeying God's command but also freeing yourself from emotional burdens. God calls us to serve others selflessly. In Matthew 25 verse 40, Jesus teaches, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." Consider how you can give back to your community. Volunteer at a local shelter, donate to those in need, or simply lend a listening ear to someone who's struggling. Acts of kindness, no matter how small, can make a significant difference in someone's life and fulfill God's will through you. As the new year approaches, prioritize your spiritual growth. Join a Bible study group, attend church regularly, or participate in faith-based workshops. Surrounding yourself with a supportive faith community can inspire and encourage you on your journey. Additionally, consider fasting or setting aside a period for spiritual renewal. These practices help you draw closer to God and prepare your heart for the work He's calling you to do. In our modern world, it's easy to become consumed by materialism. But God reminds us in Matthew 6 verse 33 to seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Take time to evaluate your priorities. Are you placing too much emphasis on worldly possessions? Simplify your life by focusing on what truly matters, your relationship with God and your impact on others. Trust that He will provide for your needs as you follow His path. Another way God may be calling you is to share the good news with others. Evangelism doesn't always mean preaching from a pulpit. It can be as simple as living out your faith authentically and speaking about it when opportunities arise. Think about friends, family members, or colleagues who might benefit from hearing about God's love. Share your personal testimony or invite them to church. Your words and actions could be the catalyst that brings someone closer to God. Sometimes, God's plan requires us to step out of our comfort zones. This might mean pursuing a new career, relocating, or taking on a leadership role in your community. Change can be intimidating, but remember that God equips those He calls. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6 encourages us to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. Trust that God will provide the strength and resources you need to succeed. Gratitude is a powerful way to honor God. By recognizing His blessings in your life, you cultivate a heart of thankfulness. Take time each day to reflect on what you're grateful for, whether it's good health, supportive relationships, or the beauty of creation. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, reminding you of God's goodness and faithfulness. It also inspires you to use your blessings to bless others. Finally, remember that our ultimate purpose is to prepare for eternity with God. This life is temporary, but the decisions we make here have eternal significance. As you consider what God wants you to do before 2025, focus on living a life that honors Him and reflects His love. Examine your heart and ask yourself, are there areas where I need to grow? Am I living in alignment with God's will? Seek His guidance and commit to walking in faith and obedience. As we look ahead to 2025, let's take this opportunity to realign our lives with God's purpose. Strengthen your relationship with Him, serve others with compassion, and embrace the changes He may be calling you to make. By doing so, you'll not only fulfill His will but also experience the peace and joy that come from living a life devoted to God. What do you believe God is calling you to do before 2025? Share your thoughts and reflections in the comments. Let's inspire and support each other on this journey of faith.